this works. That's right, I need to get the Instagram thing up and going. Let's see, where's the hookup for that? This. That, and I can lower that down probably. Getting set up to go live. Hello, everybody. All right. Blank canvas is a terrible thing, right? Let's see, let's put on some music for me. And let's grab our image. Let's see, downloads. Hey, everybody. There we go, pinned comment. That's good. Yeah, so in case anyone happens to be wondering, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm working on the final lessons for my 1 point perspective class that I've been putting together online on my teaching site. And these are I'm going to work on the applied examples, and so hopefully I get at least one of these partially done tonight, but I thought I would do them live. So that's out there. Everybody. Alright, let's get this thing. Where's my remote? I can get started on this. Where's my little remote? Ah, there it is. Put it away. There we go. Now it's working. So now let's go ahead and get this thing set up. So this is going to be quite a bit smaller. So let's go ahead and do this thing. Now let me know if there's any questions out there. I'm just going to be setting this up real quick and hopefully get a good start on it. Let's see, where's my polygon tool? Oh, going that one. Three sides, perfect. Pixel, side 3. Everybody. Hey everybody, how's it going out there in the Instagram land? I am setting up the one of the applied demos for my 1-point perspective class that I've been putting together over the last month. So one of the things I want to do was a sample building. Let's see, let's go ahead and move this onto there. Pop that on there. There we go. Hi everybody out there. So these are the perspective space that I am setting up. So these are all the necessary things that I need in order to make accurate measurements in 1-point perspective. So that's what these are all for. And so the center point is going to be my vanishing point. These are going to be some external measuring points. Actually, let's go ahead and back that up to where it's like that, just to make sure I'm getting everything spot on. They went and changed some of the shortcuts in Photoshop recently, which is a little bit annoying, but managing okay, I think. Yeah, so this is helping me to set up so I make sure that I'm getting everything measured really carefully for 1-point perspective. So this is going to be one of the applied demos from that course I've been putting together, which is nearly done. If you look here, there it is. And so here's all the topics, and then so all I have left to do is these last 4 things, which are the applied versions of stuff. Well, a nice thing about digital is you can always make more room, right? You're limited by the size of your computer tech. Alright, so now we got that in place. Let's go ahead and clean that up. So let's see, let's get that. All right, so that gives us our base stuff. We'll label that up as workspace. And let's go ahead and add on the rest of these spots. Come on, stop it. All right, that should be good for all of those. So, yeah, just getting it set up so I can work with this perspective space. I have to move this around a little bit so it'll all fit. But, yeah, let's turn that snapping back on. And let's get everything labeled. For my people. Get rid of this snapping. I like all parts of the drawing. I enjoyed coming up with the ideas and the rough sketching. I like planning it out and figuring how it's all going to work, and I like actually executing it. You know, taking it to a nice finish. So I actually like all the parts. So I don't have like a particular part that gets me going. How about yourself? What part do you enjoy the most? Alright, so now we just need to situate this on here. Yeah, I think part of it is just we tend to do a lot more sketching, and so as a result we get better at it and more confident at it. But if we don't take things to a finish very often, then it's easy to lose the life in those things because we're not as comfortable working with that. And so a lot of times we feel like because we're so comfortable with the sketching part that the finishing part becomes more difficult just because we don't do it as often. Let's get rid of some of that outside stuff. I don't speak Spanish. No hablo español. Sadly. I'd love to speak Spanish, but it's not on the current to-do list. Well, if you go to myartprofessor.com, it's not available yet, but you can get on the newsletter there, and I'll be announcing that soon. And I'm also putting a series of email newsletters together that are just going to be about the 4 different kinds of perspective and how to use them. Yeah, sorry about that, Axel. I speak Russian and English, Lithuanian, some bad Cantonese, but no hablo español. So yeah, I'm just finishing up the 1-point perspective class, and as soon as I get these applied examples done, I'm going to be starting up the 2-point class. And what it's going to do is it's going to work as a like a subscription site. So if you're familiar with things like Schoolism or Skillshare or those kinds of sites, it's going to work like that. Except it's just going to be my stuff there because I'm very picky, I guess. But so it's going to be the first 2 classes I'm doing are these perspective ones, and it's going to be like basic drawing, 2D design, the kind of stuff you'd get initially maybe during your first year of college, and then have that kind of move toward directly into more advanced stuff. So it's more about basic skills moving into medium level skills, moving into advanced skills, and then building portfolios depending on whatever your interest may be. I lived in Hong Kong for 4 years and Eastern Europe for a couple of years a while back, so my experience is a little bit different than others may be. So let's see, I think I need to set this back to here. So I think this, let's get a new color out here. That's going to be my ground line. Yeah, so yeah, that's the plan, is to get that all set up. And I should scan this drawing and get a better thing just because it's a little shiny over there. Or maybe I can do like a burn on that side with an airbrush. doing it over the whole thing. I just want to isolate this section and darken it. Hi everybody. Sorry, I was just trying to make sure that got taken care of over there. So, let's see how this goes. So I need to set up the main structure of the building first. So the base. This is going to be our, oops, wrong button there. This is going to be our main line right here. I think we're going to start here and then extend backwards. So I'm going to go to the front corner. So I set up the horizon line here. So this is the general eye height of a person. So I've got like a door right here. So I want to make sure someone can walk through that door comfortably. And then I want to check the vanishing lines, the rough ones that I put on here, just to make sure this is in the right spot first. So let's do that. Let's see, where'd my line tool go? Make sure this is set to pixels. 1 point is fine. Let's see how it goes out here. So looks like we might need to move it further out just a little bit more. Let's try that again. That's better. We can go further out, I think. Yeah, I'll let this be on my story later on, so in case you're somewhere where it's late, you'll be able to watch that later. And yeah, be sure to let me know if there's any questions so I can answer them while I am working here. Theoretically, this is supposed to be broadcasting on Twitch, but it's something weird with the stream, I think. I'm trying out something new. And so see how that goes. No, I am converting a flat drawing into a accurate perspective drawing. So a little bit different than that. Just making sure that it all fits pretty well. Maybe shrink it down just a little bit more. Just trying to do it as big as I can in the space. Yep, have a good night. Don't stay up too late. That feels much better. Go a little smaller, I think. Yeah, so the first thing is just making sure I've got a good placement on it, and that's starting to feel much better, something I can really work with. And let's go ahead and increase our image size just a bit. Let's say to 36. Actually didn't change in size yet. Oh, there'll be lots of foreshortening here. If you look at my feed, you'll see a bunch of buildings that I drew using some perspective tricks. And this one's going to be using some that are similar. This is not going to be a architectural projection thing, but should work out okay. These are examples I'm putting together for the 1-point perspective class that I'm finishing up right now that I'm putting on my teaching website. So this is just I put together some practical examples, and so I've been sketching them out, coming up with ones that I think would be fun to draw and fun to look at, and hopefully be enjoyable for other people to watch and useful. So I'm making sure that I'm including all the elements that I talk about in the course. So looking at slopes and ellipses and cylinders and spheres and angles and how to manage all of those. So that's kind of what I'm making sure I'm including in all of these sample. Yes, I also draw traditionally. If you go look, I have another account that's my name, which is Peter Sakovich. You can see lots of traditional drawings and paintings over there. I just have a separate Instagram accounts for different things that I do. I have one for my teaching stuff, so when I'm doing demos for my university students, and for my private students, I can stick the demos I put up on that Instagram account, which is myartprofessor. And so, yeah, lots of traditional stuff, too. Oh, why is this taking? I mean, I know I'm making it big, but it shouldn't take this long to change the image size on it. But I have a whole series of lectures that I put together and demos that are between about 9 and some are as long as almost 30 minutes long, showing how to use 1-point perspective in a careful way. And so the next thing I'm going to do after that is set up, let's go ahead and save this, start the 2-point perspective. Hopefully get that started next week. Let's add a new folder. Demo 01. Gotta keep everything organized so I don't lose track. I even put together a few videos in that course that show how to do perspective traditionally. So I set up my camera and so that I can show how to do that. So we're going to plop this right down here in front of this building. And that's going to be ground line. We're going to transfer some measurements onto here so that I can, I've deleted it, Shift G, Shift L, and go, so that I can get this space worked out a little bit. Saludar, personal. So let's go ahead and shrink our brush down to 1. I'm actually going to be making a number of the videos free to watch, so you have a good idea of what I'm doing and all of that. I've got some other plans that I'm kind of working on in my head. Yeah, I think there's something lost when you can't do things freehand. I think it can get in your way a little bit because it means you're not as confident about what you're doing usually. Because you're relying a lot on the computer. But I don't think it's bad. I think the computer's great. I use it all the time, obviously. But there's something to be said for craftsmanship that you can develop by using tunes. Hey, My stream is being twitchy, Meggie. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the Twitch stream. Yeah, because I'm broadcasting through, trying out something different where I'm broadcasting through restream.io. And I'm not sure why it's being so slow, because it's broadcasting to that place and I'm simultaneously sending it to here and to YouTube, and it's telling me on both of them that my output is really low, and I'm not sure why. So yeah, so I'm not sure what's up with that. It could be. I'm also on Instagram, so I'm streaming on 2 places, so it could be something to do with that. Maybe I ought to just cut it down to the Instagram feed. If you're still there, Miggy. Let's see, she's still there. Hard to say. Are you still there, Miggy? Alright, so let's get this other piece over here. So we need to use our measuring line. And let's go ahead and grab this orange color kind of over here. That can't be right. Guess it's just not going to be that far back, huh? Let's just set up some of these vanishing points, vanishing lines first. Oops, that works just fine. That's right, because the building's probably a little bit narrower going back, so. Probably, where is it going to be? Let's just grab some of these little points. Ah. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to use a slide ruler myself. Never had a need for one. Let's put that one there. That one there. That one up here. Now let's drag. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's so unstable. There is some weird weather coming in on the morrow, but so I guess to find out by testing stuff. Let's see, that's going to be about there. So I need this line to come from over here through there. Yep. So I don't want it to be that wide. I want it to be more like that wide. Yep, definitely a Cintiq. Glad you like it. Just trying to get it all set up just right before I get too deep in. Let's go ahead and actually we're going to make sure all these vanishing lines happen directly on the edge of that ground line, not on the inside of it.